Hi, I'm Michael Moynihan, a sometimes correspondent for Vice News. And this week, we launched a new documentary called Propaganda Over Pyongyang.
Okay, my question is, what would be the risk of these balloons being found by North Korean citizens? What would be the risk to their lives if they were caught with any of these things?
The penalties vary because there is no court system in any sort of sense that we would understand it, that there is a codified penalty for this. So execution, yes, imprisonment, but always punishment.
At Parker's press conference, did the counter demonstrators actually have reasons in the platform, or do you think that they were influenced by North Korea?
There's no way for us to know. A lot of people told us that these guys are North Korean stooges. So we couldn't get a good sense of what they were there for. So, we went and talked to them, obviously. The answers didn't strike any of us as being straightforward and honest.
My question is, do you personally think that this is an effective form of protest and that it actually helps North Koreans to understand the Western way of life?
So another defector we met, and we didn't use this, he said to us, I asked him, I said, what are you guys sending in these USB drives, films, soap operas, the rest of it? And he said, no, I have been filming inside a South Korean supermarket. Just walking through with a camera, filming South Korean supermarkets, putting that as an AVI file or whatever it might be onto a thumb drive and smuggling, this was not balloons, smuggling it in over the Chinese border. It was important for them, because these are people that were North Koreans, to understand what was actually happening in the South.
So you did all this work, you came to South Korea, you went out to the balloon drops, and then it turned out that actually the interview was not in the balloons.
Yeah.
How did you feel about that?
It was really difficult for us because no one told us. We got there on Monday. We were told the balloon launch was going to be later in the week. And then, bleary-eyed and jet-lagged, we're about to go back to the hotel and they say, okay, we're driving north to Paju and we're going to launch the balloons tonight. So it just hit us like, wow, there's the banner of the interview. And then the next day we find out that they're not in there. And just, by the way, from a technical perspective, the entire time I'm sitting there talking to the camera like, wow, we're sending the interview to North Korea. But we weren't. And that's because Park, I think he was pressured in some way into not doing it.
So I was curious if you asked the defectors about their long-term vision for beyond the balloon launch.
How this would play out is totally beyond anyone. And I think that it's important to remember that this is not just a dictatorship. This is a country that ranks 165 out of 165 countries in freedom indexes all across the board. These are people that have been so brutalized by the Kim dynasty crime family that reintegration is, I hope we get to the point where it's going to be hard for them because this is worse. So I hope we get to the point where that has to be figured out.
We got this really great tweet from Arturo while we were live. Arturo wants to know if we're entering a new era of propaganda.
So, propaganda is something that has always existed. I think that it's a new era in the sense that the technology, we can actually crack North Korea. Sending balloons over, but you're sending balloons over of much more explosive and inflammatory stuff like South Korean soap operas. That might be what brings the regime down. Thank you for watching our piece. There'll be many more of them, so keep coming back to Vice News. Thanks. This is your uniform. Does your hat still fit? Does it still fit? Oh God, you're terrifying right now. I'm scared right now. No, don't. Seriously, don't. Dude, literally, he's playing North Korean television. He's wearing the hat and he's threatening me. There's going to be an international incident right now. So let's go invade the South.